Hello guys, welcome back to Mr. Cloudbook channel. Today is the day 40 of the Kubernetes masterclass, and in this video we are going to see the commands and arguments in the Kubernetes. A simple recap. So what is a Kubernetes? So imagine you have a bunch of toy robots. Okay, these are your containers. Kubernetes is like the robot playground manager. It helps you organize and control and tell all your robots what to do. So simple things and container and their instructions. Okay, each robot, okay, each container comes with some default instructions, which is entry point and another one is CMD. Let's go with the demo as well. So I want to explain here in a detailed way. Each container comes with some default instructions, which is entry point. So everyone knows, right? Entry point. So that's why I'm not writing detailed way ENT, and simple way we will write the CMD as the command. So the main command your robot will always follow when it starts, that is entry point. Think of it as the robot's primary function. So entry point is the main command your robot will always follow when it starts. Think of it as the important primary function. Entry point. CMD. These are additional default instructions are a details for the main command like settings or the options. These are like the options are the settings whenever the primary function is running. These are additional default instructions are the details for the main command. So at that time we will use the CMD and primary function is entry point. So for example, if you have a robot that dances, its entry point might be the dance. Okay, so I have one robot and it will do the dance. Okay, the primary entry point is dance and its CMD might be hip hop style or the any other styles. Okay, so this is the entry point, dance is the entry point. So these are the different styles. Okay, so hip hop like that. Maybe I don't know what are the styles are available, like some Bharatanatyam, Kuchipudi, like that styles for how many minutes, like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, like that. That is up to you. So these are all the additional commands. Okay, this is called the command for CMD, and dance is the primary function which is called the entry point. Remember it. So how to use the commands and args? Command specify the exact action or a program you want to the container or the pod or the robot to run. Args means provides the additional information or the parameters for that particular command. Okay, so this is like the entry point is like the command specifies the exact action or the programs you want the container to run always. So args is like provides the additional information. So example, changing the robot's main job. Okay, default behavior. I have one robot. Okay, think like this is as the one of the robot. Default behavior, your robot says hello world always. Okay, so hello world in a simple world I will write as HW hello world. Always it will say when it starts. Okay, whenever my pod starts or whenever my robot starts, what it will say? It will say always hello world. But you want it to say it's a hi Kubernetes instead of. So at that time, what you have to use? You have to use the args. By default, however, it will say the hello world. But if you use the args, what it will say? It will say the hi Kubernetes. So this is the use of the simple example. Okay. If you want to say the hi Kubernetes instead of hello world, you have to use the args. Okay. What happens? The robot now says hi Kubernetes whenever it starts. Okay. By default, it will say hello world. But what I did, I added one argument which always says the hi Kubernetes whenever it starts. The default behavior of this particular robot is hip hop style. Okay, it will do the dance and that too it will do hip hop. So, but you want to dance a ballet instead of. So what you do, you will use the args again to change the different dance. Okay, instead of hip hop, what I will do, I will use the ballet dance or belly dance or anything. That is up to me. So I will use the args, okay, in my command. By default, there will be a hip hop, but what I will do, I will use the args in order to put the another one. Okay, I will need the ballet dance. Here, what happens? The robot still dances since we didn't change the command, but now it dances ballet instead of hip hop, telling the robot to do the multiple things. Okay, you want your robot to greet and then dance. Okay, so first of all, I need? First of all, it needs to say hello, hi Kubernetes, and then it will do the dance as well. We can use the same as well. What happens? The robot will say hello, and then it will say the do the dance. So both will works in the args. Okay, command we will directly provide bin sh like that, and in the arguments we will tell okay, say hello and then do the dance. So important things to remember: commands are lists. Okay, when you write a command and args, you need to put them in a square brackets and use quotes if necessary. It's like making a shopping list. Okay, so remember it. So whenever you write something in the comments, use these brackets, okay, square brackets or double quotes. That is up to you. If you set a command, you are giving your robot a new main job. Okay, if you set args means you are changing the how your robot does this job. So command is by default. Okay, here command is by default. You are giving this one, and args means you are overriding it. Simply think this is as the command. So instead of like this, so what I will do is I will use echo and comma. So here I will use hello. This is the one of the common mistake. Okay, so we have to write this inside the brackets like so. This is the first one. So first command, if you don't provide a square brackets, if you change the command, make sure it your args make sense with it. In simple terms, think of the Kubernetes as a way to give a precise instructions to your toy robots. By changing the commands and args, you can tell your robots to do the new tasks or the new tricks, or change how they perform their tricks, or combine the tricks to make the complex routines. Okay, at that time we have to use the commands and args. I will show the demo as well here. So here what I'll do is I'll write a simple YAML file vi1.yaml. Okay, so I'll add a simple pod here. This is the simple container. I'll come out of it. So here the default behavior. So if you apply it, kubectl apply -f1.yaml. Okay, this is resources. There may be some kind of issue I wrote. Come out of it and apply again. Okay, pod is created. Okay, expected behavior. The container uses the image default entry point sh and command empty. The container starts a cell and then exits immediately. Okay, the pod will go into the completed state quickly. So if you see kubectl get pod, and you can say that crash loop back. Maybe there is an issue. Okay, let's describe kubectl describe pod and pod default. Okay, and you can say that maybe it's there. Actually, container is there. Backup restarting failed container busy box in this one. kubectl get pods. Okay, actually it's completed. Okay, see, it's completed. We will get this one. So if you try to see, okay, describe pod, and if you see here, there is no commands here, right? So there is no commands, nothing is there. Okay, commands is not there, nothing is there. By default, it uses the simple command and it will exit automatically. So whenever the pod completes running, okay, you can see that completed. So if you see kubectl logs pod default, say there are no logs, right? So what I will do is I will use the overriding using the command and arguments. Okay, so what I will do vi 1.yaml. So remember it. So image I have. So by default there is an sh command is there, and empty one it will automatically stops, right? So here what I will use is args arguments I will use. So in the square brackets I will use hyphen c like command. Okay, comma. So I'll use simple hello from Mr. Cloud and close the bracket and come out of it and enter. So this is the simple one. Okay, since the default entry point is sh, the args we provided, that is 1.yaml. So args we provided hello mrcloudbook.com. The expected behavior is the container executes the sh-c hello from Mr. Cloudbook. The output is hello from the Mr. Cloudbook. The container exists after executing the pod command, and the pod will be in the completed state again. Okay, so I will run again kubectl. Okay, no problem. I will delete one pod. Okay, first of all, kubectl delete -f1.yaml. So I'll apply again, and you can see that it's created, right? Kubectl get pods. So crash loop back by default it will comes at the starting. So it will take some times. Okay, no need to worry about it. So it will take some time. Okay, run container error. Okay, let's see. kubectl get pods. So describe it kubectl describe pod and enter. And you can see that failed to create a container path. We are using this, and you can see that -c executable file not found. Okay, this is the main issue. Okay, let's try to add sh as well here. Sh. Okay, come out of it and kubectl delete -f1.yaml. Okay, apply -f1.yaml created. Let's see the pods. Okay, it's completed now. So if you see the logs now, kubectl logs, enter, and you can see that hello from Mr. Cloudbook. So last time we don't have anything, right? So we don't have anything. That's why it's not printing anything, but we have something now. So it will print that particular one as well. Okay. So now what I will do is only overriding the entry point using the command. Okay. So I'll update the same pod. Okay. vi1.yaml. So instead of this one, I'll comment it this one. I'll comment it and I will go here, come here, and I will add command directly. Okay, command. So we used the args, that is fine working, but command I will use echo. So this one close, come out of it. So what I'll do is I will delete the old one, delete -f. So here what happens, I used the echo, right? The container executes echo without any arguments. No output is produced. The container exists immediately. So if I try to apply again, kubectl apply 1.yaml. So if I see the pods, get pods, so it's completed again. So if you see the logs again, see there are nothing. So there is an empty space. So this is how it will work. So overriding the both entry point and command using the echo and command and args as well. Okay. So what I will do, I will use vi1.yaml. So I will use this one. So in the args, what I will do, I'll uncomment this, and in the arg section, so I'll just remove this. We don't need this since we have that echo is there. So come out of it. So because echo is there in the above command. Okay. So I'm using the both. Okay. Now kubectl apply. So first of all delete -f1.yaml. So kubectl apply -f1.yaml. Okay, that is done. So if you get pods, okay, it's completed 2 seconds ago. So you see the logs, and you can see that again we are getting the hello from Mr. Cloudbook dot. So here what happens, the container executes echo from the command itself. Okay, cat 1.yaml. So container executes echo and it uses the args. Okay, this is hello from Mr. Cloudbook. So here both command and args works together. The container exits after executing that particular echo. Okay, the pod will be in the completed state. So once that is done, okay, if it runs this one, it will close that particular container, right? So the simple one. Okay, so we can test the same thing with the deployment as well. Define commands and arguments. And if you see here, say command print env. So it will print this one. Okay. So if you run this simple command, okay, let's see this one. Okay. So vi 3.yaml, paste it and come out of it. K apply -f 3.yaml. That is done. kubectl get pods. Okay. It's still creating. Maybe it will take some time. Container creating completed. Okay. If you see logs for that particular one, okay, kubectl logs command demo and say command demo TCP, which is using this particular 443. What it's asking, what is the host name? So it will asking the print env for this particular Debian and what is the Kubernetes port. So it will print that one, host name and the Kubernetes port. Okay, this is the main command. It will print the envs, and but in the arg section, what we did, we asked I want only host name and Kubernetes port. So what it's print? So it prints the same thing. Okay. So this is the command demo of that host name for that particular pod, and this is the Kubernetes IP address. Okay. And if you go down a little bit, and you can see that env, you can use this one. So name, message, value, hello world. So bin, so if you bin this one echo, what it will do, it will referring this one, okay, this message. So it will print this hello world. So this is the simple concept which is important. You can check this if you want to more about it. Okay. So I hope you understand about the commands and arguments, and let's try to see something more in the upcoming sessions as well. Thanks for watching the video and keep on supporting to Mr. Cloudbook channel.